I want to welcome you all here for this really exciting event. We have added 2 electric vehicles, buses to our fleet, and we're so excited to have that partnership with FPL who helped make it possible. It is my sincere pleasure to introduce Mayor James, who is going to share some remarks.
Thank you, Penny. Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. I knew you were going to do that.
Yeah, I know. It's a Friday.
Yeah.
For city employees, it's a payday. So I expect a little bit more energy. So we're going to try this one more time. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Oh, that's much better, much better. So as Penny says, I am Keith James. I do have the honor and privilege of serving as mayor of what I think is the greatest city in this nation. And yes, I am biased, and that's West Palm Beach, Florida. And I do want to welcome you today to the official commissioning of the first 2 of 5 City of West Palm Beach Florida Power and Light Evolution buses. But this moment would not be possible if not for FPL. So I want to thank FPL Vice President of Development, Matt Valley. Thank you, Matt. Don Kisela, I'm going to call him Don K. I always mess up your name. Don K., the Director of External Affairs. Don, thank you. And Anush Chachki of FPL, thank you. You know, FPL has been such a wonderful community partner with our city, and we are so fortunate to have FPL working with us to create a cleaner future for our children and to support green initiatives. Thank you, FPL. That deserves applause. FPL, yes. I don't see any of our commissioners here. Okay. So these buses represent the first electric buses in use by school-aged children in our area. Hundreds of children from elementary and middle schools throughout the city are transported to and from our community centers at Pleasant City, Coleman Park, Howard Park, South Olive Park, and here at Gaines Park. By using this electric bus, we pass on to young generations the importance of protecting the environment by using clean energy. These zero-emission vehicles reduce our carbon footprint. By putting just one of these buses into service, we are taking the equivalent of 5 cars off the road and preventing 23 metric tons of carbon emissions each year. These electric buses would add to the city's fleet of green energy vehicles, of which 16 are electric and 36 are hybrid. The environment is one of 5 top priorities I laid out when I came in the office 2 years ago. We have made and will continue to make progress on protecting our environment. We remain committed to 100% renewable energy use by 2035 and to net zero carbon emissions by 2050. Thank you to Resilience and Climate Change Manager Penny Redford, who you just heard from. Yes, see, you got applause, there you go. And the Office of Sustainability team for advancing green initiatives in our city and for working with FPL to make the Evolution buses possible in West Palm Beach. Your work is critical to our city's advancement as a healthy, environmentally progressive, resilient, and ecologically sustainable community. Very important. By commissioning these electric buses, the city affirms its commitment to equality of opportunity for all city residents. That includes the children, especially children of low-income families who will most often use this bus. But real quickly, I want to recognize Parks and Recreation Director Leah Rockwell. Leah. And her very caring team of campus managers who work to guide and improve the lives of hundreds of children throughout the school year and summer. Marvelous Washington, Recreation Campus Manager at Gaines Park. Marvelous. There she is. All right, there she is. Erin Page, Recreation Campus Manager at Pleasant City Community Center. Tracy Merrill, Recreation Campus Manager at the Howard Park. And Mercedes Jackson, Recreation Campus Manager for South Olive. Thank you all so much. You're impacting the lives of these young people in ways that you probably don't even realize. In closing, congratulations and thank you to everyone involved. Be safe. Next, I'd like to invite Matt Valley to speak about FPL's role in our partnership and their dedication to renewable and sustainable energy for customers. Matt? Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor. Great to be here. Great to see everybody in person. This has been a long time coming, those, including Penny, that have been a part of this. It's taken a little while to get this bus, but behind me is the first electric school bus in the state of Florida, right here in West Palm Beach. In addition to that, it's not just the first electric school bus in Florida, it's special for another reason. It has vehicle-to-grid technology, which means this school bus can communicate back to the grid and send energy back into the grid when we need it, which is really a innovative, kind of first-in-the-nation pilot that we're doing out here with you all. So we're very excited to talk about this today. We have, installed these two chargers out here to help with activity bus, right? So these buses are going to be used in the normal course of how the buses, with the activity were going to be used in the past, right? Looks like a bus, still rides like the same bus for the school kids. I was telling the mayor earlier, it's got seat belts on there too for some additional safety. But it's really a blueprint of what we hope to advance around the state of Florida. There's 9,000 school buses in FPL service territory alone. This is the first one. The learnings that we gather together here, we're going to start talking to other school districts. We've already begun those discussions, particularly in the Tri-County area, where they've put some orders in for school buses already. And as we learn here, we're going to share that with them, and we're going to share with other school districts around the state of Florida to help ultimately convert all the school buses to electric. I went to public school, and I rode the school bus for many years. And one thing that I remember about riding the school bus was the smell of the diesel when the bus drove up to pick you up, right? Now that's a reality for a lot of buses today, and it was in the past. It doesn't have to be for our kids and for their children too. So that's really what this is about at FPL. I talked about the vehicle-to-grid technology. The easy way to explain it is this. In the afternoon, the late afternoon and the early evening, when our electrical demand on the grid starts to really grow, we anticipate that these school buses will be parked here, right? Two of them and these two chargers. And at that time, if there's any energy left in the school bus, we can take that energy, put it into the grid when we need it. So we don't have to build additional power plants to serve the system as Florida is continuing to grow. And there's plenty of time in the middle of the night to recharge these school buses and to have them ready in the morning for the next set of activities. I would be remiss if I didn't talk a little bit about our batteries and our electric vehicle program. I was just over in Manatee County last week helping to do an early construction preview of the world's largest solar-powered battery, right? That is part of what FPL is doing as we bring more intermittent resources, the solar, onto the grid to help balance that out. This is another aspect of that, right? In us helping to manage intermittent solar energy, we don't control the sun and when it shines, so we've got to do a better job controlling when that energy is harnessed and then how we use that to support load. In addition to that, we've been very busy on electric vehicles and other fronts. We set out last year to deploy 1,000 electric vehicle chargers around the state. So now this FPL Evolution brand that you see, you're going to start to see in communities. We have them in major workplaces. We have them in municipal areas. We've got some here in West Palm Beach at Brightline Station, St. Mary's, Kravis Center, Palm Beach Atlantic University, and we're still working to do more of those. One thing is clear, as more and more customers shift to electric vehicles, they're going to need more charging infrastructure. So part of our role as a utility is to help enable customers to be able to charge wherever they go. So we're working on programs at home, we're working on programs where they work, we're working on programs in the public space, whether they're going to the grocery store or they're trying to make a trip up to Orlando, for example, and down the highway. It's our view that eventually most vehicles will be electric, and although this transition is going to take a while, pilots like this provide invaluable learning that we're going to use as we start to deploy across the state. We serve about 60% of the state of Florida at this moment, and that's the third biggest state in the country. So, I mentioned it earlier, but Florida is truly leading the nation in a lot of these technologies. This is not invented in the Northeast or invented in California anymore. We're very passionate about being proactive with this transition that's happening to electric vehicles and then fleet vehicles too, and also sharing those learnings as I talked about earlier. So I just want to wrap with thanking the City of West Palm Beach, Mayor and Penny. You guys have been terrific partners. We've done a lot of other stuff together. We're going to keep doing things together, but we're really excited about this. We're going to showcase this. And I think a lot in our industry, a lot of folks in our industry are very interested in this vehicle-to-grid technology and how it works and how we dial that in over time. I also want to thank Lion, who produced these buses. We've got 2 of them right now, 3 more on the way, we hope, later this year. So we'd have a fleet of 5 electric buses to test out here. And then Nuvi is the vendor that developed the vehicle-to-grid technology. Again, this is state-of-the-art. It's not like you can go buy this off the shelf. These are some of the first vehicle-to-grid interfaces on any system anywhere. So we're excited about this today. You can tell. We've got a great day. Mayor, the bus is, yours to take for a test drive anytime you want. I've driven it once before. It doesn't quite have Tesla acceleration, but it's quiet and it's clean. So with that, I'd like to wrap. Just again, thank all our partners and for all of you for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our city has made a commitment to transition our fleet to electric and get away from the petroleum. This really represents such a great milestone that we're able to do that. And we wouldn't be able to do that if we didn't have, of course, the mayor's support, but also Leah Rockwell's support. So Leah is the director of our Parks and Recreation Department. She has been and continues to be 100% supportive of all of the sustainability efforts, and we're just so excited that her program and the children that are in it are able to benefit from this great partnership and these fabulous buses. Leah?
Thank you, Penny. Thank you, FPL. Thank you, Mayor. We would not have been able to be in the forefront of this without FPL and without the support of city administration to invest in this green energy here at the city. They say it starts in parks. That's our logo. It starts in parks, and here we are starting in parks in the city of West Palm Beach to have these amazing buses that are going to download their energy to the grid at night and then reload the energy so we can take our kids where they need to go. But the buses aren't just going to be used for our after-school programs. They're going to be used for summer camps. We have hundreds of kids in our summer camps every day. And our camps are so important because they keep our kids engaged in learning throughout the summer. That summer slide, we try to avoid it happening here in the city of West Palm Beach. And field trips play an integral role in that, taking them to the zoo and the science center and places like that where they continue to learn and be exposed to things that they would never have the opportunity to see or learn from. So we're really excited to have these buses. When they first brought a Lion bus down for us to drive in, they were so quiet. And, I grew up on a school bus as well. So it was really interesting to see the difference in the technology. And the small bus fleet that we're getting, the smaller buses from this large bus behind me, will also be used to transport kids, but also our seniors. We have senior programs, so we want to get our seniors out to enjoy everything that we have around us here in the city of West Palm Beach and our neighboring communities. And our teens, our teens are our future right now, and we take them on trips, on tours to colleges and to vocational schools so that they can see what their future might be in giving back to this community so they can stay here. And then, should I say that word, that H word?
No.
The mayor says no. Well, those storms that sometimes come through here or come near here, to avoid that word, the buses can be used for emergency transportation when we need to get people out of harm's way. So we're really excited that FPL has joined with the city of West Palm Beach to bring these buses to us. It does start in parks. And, I don't want to be remiss. We mentioned our campus managers, but we also have Lynn Highsmith, who is the center supervisor over at Coleman Park. And she has a myriad of kids and senior programs at her center, which is now currently closing because we're going to get a brand new community center there that will have more kids that we'll be transporting. So we're really excited for Lynn and the future of Coleman Park. And maybe we'll have one of these stations over at Coleman with a bus located there. And Eric Williams, who has been our bus driver of these new buses. We're really excited to have Eric on board with us driving our buses. You can't drive a bus without a bus driver, right? So with that being said, thank you, FPL. Thank you, Mayor and the City Administration. And Penny, without your vision and your love for our environment, this would not have been possible for the city as well. So thank you very much. And it starts in parks. Thank you all.
Well, Leah, thank you for being so so nice in describing me instead of that persistent, like, I'm not the bad Penny that shows up, but I am that Penny that keeps going, so I appreciate that. You know, one last thing that I do want to share is that our city is committed across the board, not just with electric vehicles, but throughout the whole realm of addressing climate change and resilience. We've made a commitment to net zero by 2050, and we recently signed on to further that commitment to the UN Race for Zero. So we have been a leader, not just in the state of Florida, but throughout the country in climate change and resilience impacts and preparations, and we're going to continue to be. This just is a very visual manifestation of that commitment. And again, it's such a pleasure to work together to have these things happen. Well, now what we've been waiting for is this beautiful green ribbon. We get to commission the bus. If I could invite the mayor and Leah and Matt and Don, Anush, to come up. 3, 2, 1, go.